Good day, everyone. Our discussion for today will be focusing on the definition and importance of competitiveness, strategy, and productivity in operations management within hospitality industry businesses. For the learning objectives, to define what is competitiveness and how business compete in terms of marketing and operations, to identify the difference between mission, strategy, and tactics in operations management, to recognize different kinds of strategies such as quality-based, time series, and balanced scorecard, and to explain the concept of productivity and its difference to efficiency. When we say competitiveness, this is on how effectively an organization meets the wants and the needs of customers relative to others that offer similar goods or services. Of course, in hospitality industry businesses, there are lots of competitors. It might be the direct competitors, indirect competitors, and it's very important to have an edge with your competitors, or what we call the competitive advantage. And with that, with giving the wants and the needs of the customers differently from the competitors, is said to be competitive, respectively. How do we use marketing in terms of making up a business? It is used, or it is very important to identify the consumer wants and needs. During our previous discussion, we discussed that in order to gain more demands, it is very important the marketing strategy, or that we know what marketing strategy to use in order to gain lots of customers and to make a demand in order to match that with the supply. Okay, so it is very important in the business, especially in hospitality industry businesses, that we are able to match or to have an economic match between supply and demand, because in doing so, we can say that the organization is successful. Of course, in terms of pricing, advertising, and promotion. In terms of operation, businesses compete through product and service design, cost, location, quality, quick response, as well as in terms of flexibility, inventory management, supply chain management, service. So as you can see, all of the activities in connection to operations should be done properly or in accordance to standard and in accordance to how you are going to collaborate all these functions to different departments of the hospitality businesses. It might be food service industry, or it might be hotel accommodation industry. Why some organizations fail? Because they do not know, or unconsciously they do not observe the following. First, too much emphasis on short-term financial performance, failing to take advantage of strengths and opportunities, failing to recognize competitive threats, neglecting operations strategy. Also, too much emphasis in product and service design and not enough on improvement, neglecting investment in capital and human resources, failing to establish good internal communications, and failing to consider customer wants and needs. So in businesses, or if you have business plans, it is important to consider also the wants and needs of the customers. So we are doing that in the help of customer segmentation. So we segment our market in accordance to their desire, to their geographic information, psychographic information, and other factors connected to market segmentation. Also, it is very important for an organization to be successful to not just consider the physical layout, but as well on the service, and to invest in human capital. So not just only on tangible materials. And of course, to establish communication, good communications, accurate communication, concise communication within the employees of the organization. Okay. We have this mission, strategy, and tactics. How does mission, strategies, and tactics relate to decision making and distinctive competencies? So in life, we always have a mission, and we use a strategy and tactics in order to for us to reach that mission or goal in our lives. So With this, in relation to hospitality businesses, let's proceed. So it's always mission, going to strategy, and to tactics. We always have these activities in order to derive with our mission. Okay, so in a business term or in a business point of view, we always have strategies in order to make our products sellable or um, be acquired by the customers, and also have the tactics to be different from our competitors. When we say strategies, these are plans for achieving organizational goals. When we say mission, this is the reason for existence for an organization. Mission statement, this answers the question, what business are we in? For the goals, this provide detail and scope of the mission. And for the tactics, these are the methods and actions taken to accomplish strategies. So this pyramid is all about planning and decision making. So of course, at first, we have our mission and goals in life, or mission and goals in our business. So we have the organizational strategies. So for the organizational strategies, we divide that into functional goals. And these three departments are the most important departments or functions in an organization. We have the finance strategies, we have the marketing strategies, and the operations strategies. And for all of these functions, we need to have tactics. We need to have ways on how to achieve our mission and goals. And so the tactics will be executed through operating procedures. Okay. Another example for strategy, so we have this mission or goal in life, or mission first, to have a live a good life. And for the goal, we need to be successful in our career and to have good income. For the strategy, we are going to obtain a college education, and that's what you're doing right now. For the tactics, you are selecting, or you selected your college major and your course. For the operations, after you graduate, as you graduated, you will register, you will buy books, take courses, study, and graduate, get a job. So that's after your graduation. So before that, as part of operations, you need to enroll to your course, and of course to study very well. So here are other examples of strategies. Okay, so you have low cost strategies, skill-based strategies, specialization, flexible operations, and of course, high quality service. For the strategy and tactics, these distinctive competencies, so the special attributes or abilities that give an organization a competitive advantage. So as we have discussed a while ago, we have really lots of competitors, and they serve as our inspiration to do better and to give our best, or to have an edge from them. So these are the special attributes or abilities that give an organization a competitive advantage or competitive edge. We have the price, the quality, the time, the flexibility, the service, and the location. Another example for the price, we have this low cost. So this is this example of distinctive competencies. So for the quality, we have, of course, we need to provide high performance design or high quality, consistent quality. And then for the time, we need to have the delivery fast, or to have a rapid delivery, and of course on-time delivery. And then for the flexibility, there are lots of ways on how we can improve or innovate our operations. So we need to be flexible and to adapt to change. And of course, volume. We need to be productive and to produce large amount of quantity or volume of the tangible products that we need to serve our customers. And then for the service, it should be superior customer service. And for the location, it should be convenient. So these are some of the examples, general examples of the following distinctive competencies. When we say operation strategy, this is an approach consistent with organization strategy. So the operation strategy should align with the organization strategy that is used to guide the operations functions. We have different strategy formulation. So we have the distinctive competencies that we have discussed a while ago. We have the environmental scanning, Of course, the SWOT analysis, or the what we call the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, the order qualifiers, and the order winners. We have also this strategic operations management decision area. So we have these different decision areas. First is the product and service design. So this is all about, or what the decision affects is about the cost, the quality, liability, and environmental issues. For the capacity, it is about the cost, the structure, the flexibility. For the process selection and layout, it's of course about the cost, the flexibility, the skill level needed, and the capacity. For the work design, it's about the quality of work, life, employee, safety, and productivity. For the location, it's about the cost, the visibility. For the quality, it's about ability to meet or exceed customer expectations. For the inventory, it's about cost or shortages. For the maintenance, it's about cost, equipment, reliability, and productivity. For scheduling, it's about flexibility, efficiency. For supply chains, it's about cost, quality, agility, shortages, and vendor relations. And lastly, for the projects, this is about cost, new products, services, or operating system. For these order qualifiers, so this is a characteristic that customers perceive as minimum standards of acceptability to be considered as a potential purchase. And for the order winners, we have these characteristics of an organization's goods or services that cause it to be perceived as better than the competition. So these two are some of the examples or ways on how to formulate a strategy. And for some of the examples here for the order qualifiers, if in a restaurant, when someone is coming into that store or restaurant or even in fast food chains, not all people are getting there or coming there in order to have a purchase immediately. Some of the customers are having some time taking up pictures or going to the restroom and just observing. And they are potential customers. So with these potential customers, they should be treated well as the customers that is actually paying, because there are those qualifiers. So there can be, or the you can formulate a strategy out of treating them well and giving them service even though they are not really ordering, or they are not really customers who are going to buy for the certain services or products that you are going to offer. So they are examples of order qualifiers. They are potential customers that, but soon they will have a purchase and they will form a profit, or they will form a sales, and that's a strategy formulation. Okay. So thinking that if you are going to treat these people or these potential customers not well, or you are going to not give them attention, so maybe they will become disappointed and will tell people not to go there because you did not treat them well, even though they are not ordering or they are not doing a purchase. So they should be treated well. For the order winners, as we have said, this is a characteristics of an organization's goods or services that cause it to be perceived as better than the competition. So once a customer have their purchase to your establishment, you need to really give them the best service and the quality of products that they deserve, or that their money deserve. Okay? We have this key external factor. So when we say external, this is the different factors affecting your business outside your organization. So we have these economic conditions, political conditions, the legal environment, technology, competition, and markets. You really need to adapt with this very well, no, in order for you to be competitive and to do strategies, no, in order to become profitable. Okay? So we have also, of course, the internal factors. So these are the departments within our organization. So we have the human resources, you have facilities and equipment, you have the financial resources, the customers, products and services, technology, and the suppliers. So we need to practice internal marketing. Internal marketing is the way on how you will treat all the people within your organization, treat the people with respect, in accordance to the law, and give them importance so that they feel that they are part of the organization. And with that, they will perform well and they will become more efficient and productive. And with that also, as a result, it will become your strategy and you will become competitively or competitive, no? And it will serve as your competitive advantage. Quality-based strategies. So let's go now with this. Quality-based strategies is focus on maintaining or improving the quality of an organization's products or services. Pursuit of this strategy is rooted among number of factors. So of course, number one is you are going to try to overcome a poor quality reputation. That's why you are going to center with the quality of your products. And you have this desire to maintain a quality image, a desire to catch up with the competition, in a part of cost reduction strategy. So of course, when everything is in quality or in highest standards, of course the cost will reduce because the mistakes reduce. Every mistake is equivalent to cost. No? So if you maintain this quality and you focus on the quality in terms of strategizing, you will reduce cost and the reduction will add up into your profit. Let's proceed now to time strategies. So for the time-based strategies, this focuses on reduction of time. So this is needed in order to accomplish tasks in accordance to time. So the areas are planning time, product and service design time, changeover time, and delivery time. And of course, response time for complaints. So this is very important to use your time properly within an operation, because as the saying goes, time is good and you need not to waste time, most especially when customers are waiting for response, waiting for service, waiting for them to have their food on their table, waiting for their room to be cleaned. So this is very important in order to have profit and in order to become profitable or competitive, in terms of the business within your competition or outside the industry, or on how you are going to get into the market and to be profitable. Okay, so you need to be conscious about the time. Okay, example, you have this calendar. For the month of January, you are planning. For February, designing. March, you are processing. April, you are changeover or you are assessing mistakes and do some innovations or adjustments. And then for me, you are on your delivery, and June, you are on time. So while making up this time frame or this schedule, you have your guide on how long will you finish a certain task in order to create a positive output or a quality output that is within your time frame. So this is a time-based strategy example. And next we have this balanced scorecard approach. So this is a top-down management system that organizations can use to clarify their vision and strategy and transform them into action. This involves the following: develop objectives, develop metrics and targets for each objectives, identify the links among the various perspectives, and with this case, these are the most important parts. You have the finance, the customer, the internal business and process, the learning and growth, and monitoring, of course, the result. So for example, you have this strategic priorities. Under financial, you want this to be your business to become financially strong. In terms of customer, you want to delight the customer and to have a win-win dealer relationship. For internal, you have this building the franchise, increase customer value and operational excellence, and of course to be a good neighbor and to have a good neighbor. And for the learning and growth, you have motivated and prepared workforce. So what are your objectives and what are your measures, your targets, and of course your initiatives in order to reach these strategic priorities. Okay, so this is an example of how to construct a scorecard. So as you can see, for the targets, you have a numerical value here. So you have set your numerical value on how you are going to reach your target in terms of percentage. okay, in terms of percentage per year. So this is more technical and this use numbers. So as you can see, as you reach your target in accordance to this numerical value, you can say that you become successful in reaching your target and you become competitive and profitable. This is an example of balanced scorecard for McDonald's Corporation. So as you can see, they also divide in terms of their issues or sustainability issues. So they have this financial perspective, stakeholder perspective, and internal business process, and of course the learning and growth. Okay, so for the financial perspective, they have this following objectives: percent sales revenues from green products, recycling revenues, energy costs, and fines and penalties. So they emphasize the following. So in terms of their finances, so what are their activities to consider, and what are the solution uh, for this kind of problems. For the sustainability perspective, they have the sustainability awards, funds donated for community support, number of community complaints, and employee satisfaction. For internal business process, they have the percentage of suppliers certified, volume of hazardous waste, packaging volume, and the number of product recalls. For learning and growth, they have this diversity of workforce and management, cost of employee benefits, and the percentage of employees trained in sustainability. For the productivity, when we see productivity, it is about a measure of the effective use of resources, usually expressed as the ratio of output to input. And productivity ratios are used for planning the workforce requirements, scheduling equipment, and financial analysis. So this is very important to measure the productivity, because in measuring the productivity, you are going to base the measurement, or you are going to base your plans on the measurement, or if you have this productivity growth. Okay, and it is said to be here in the PowerPoint presentation, it is used to be effective, no, and this is also a means of on how you are going to manage your resources properly. Okay, and of course to have a schedule in terms of equipment, and of course to analyze our finances. The formula for productivity is equals to outputs over inputs. For the partial measures, we are going to measure the output divided by 2 single input. For the multi-factor measures, output divided by 2 multiple inputs. And for the total measure, output divided by the total inputs. Why does productivity matters? High productivity is linked to higher standards of living. As an economy replaces manufacturing jobs with lower productivity, service jobs, it is more difficult to maintain high standards of living. So higher productivity is relative to the competition, leads to competitive advantage in the marketplace. And it has an effect on pricing and profits. For an industry, high relative productivity makes it less likely it will be supplanted or replaced by the foreign industry. Of course, when your business is productive, you will gain lots of profits, and you are going to be more competitive in terms of pricing. You will gain lots of customers, and you will never be replaced by different or any emerging foreign industry or businesses. Table 2.0 is another example or representation on how to measure productivity. Partial measures is equivalent to output, and we have the labor, the machine capital, and energy. So for the multi-factor, we have the output, labor over labor plus machine, and output over labor plus capital plus energy. So it's simply just you will add all the inputs in order to divide that from the output. And then for the total measure, you have all the goods or all the input produced, and you have all the outputs that are produced from the inputs divided by the all inputs used to produce them. For the example, partial productivity measures for the labor productivity, you are going to compute or you will going to find the units of output per labor per hour, units of output per shift, value added per labor per hour, and then make machine productivity, you need to measure the units of output per machine hour, machine per hour, and then for the capital productivity, the units of output per peso input, peso value of output per peso input. So you need to really have this per unit or per input per hour of the following categories. So of course you have the energy productivity, units of output per kilowatt hour, peso value of output per kilowatt hour. Of course you need to convert that all into cost or into monetary term. Example, we have 7,040 units produced, sold for 1.10 per unit, so or 1 peso and 10 centavos per unit for the cost of labor of 1,000 pesos, for the cost of materials of 520, and cost of overhead for 200 pesos. So what is the multi-factor productivity? We have 2.20. So how are we able to come up with that? So MFP is equivalent to output over the labor plus materials plus the overhead. And as substitution, we have 7,040 units multiplied to 1 peso and 0.10 centavo per unit divided by 1,000 plus 520 plus 2,000 pesos. So we come up with 2.20 multi-factor productivity. Productivity growth example, so we have this equivalent to current productivity minus the previous productivity over the previous productivity times 100%. So example, labor productivity on the ABC assembly line was 25 units per hour in 2014, and in 2015 it became 23 units per hour. What was the production growth from 2014 to 2015? For the production growth, it is equivalent to 23 as substitute 23 minus 25 divided by 25 times 100%. This is equivalent to negative 8%. So as you can see, this is a negative impact in terms of production growth because from the year 2014, it is 25, and then when the year succeeded to 2015, it became 23 only. So the labor productivity is a negative of 8%. Okay? So that's how to measure the productivity growth. So for the productivity growth, it is important for this to be measured because it will be the basis on how you are going to improve in terms of production operations. There are different factors affecting the productivity. You have the capital, the quality, technology, and the management. For our very important factors, so you will need to start for the capital, no? And you will maintain the quality of the products and services by doing a management or by managing it properly. And then of course with the aid of technology. So again, these are the factors affecting productivity. Other factors affecting productivity are as follows. First is standardization, the quality, the use of internet, the computer viruses. You need to eliminate this. You need to protect your system from the viruses, searching for lost or misplaced items, scrap rates, and new workers. So even the factor is just, as you can see a little, it will as soon as it add up, it will add up to cost. No? For example, this is scrap rates. No? So if you have lots of scrap in present in your organization or in your business, it will be converted to negative cost or to cost that should be eliminated. So it will affect the productivity of your business. Okay, another safety, shortage of IT workers, layoffs, the labor turnover, or the percentage of how many people are resigning into your company, design of the workspace, incentive plans that reward productivity. So all of these are factors affecting the productivity. So all of this should be managed carefully and should be in good terms. How to improve productivity, develop productivity measures. No, you need to develop guidelines. You need to develop standard operating procedures. You need to determine what are the bottlenecks or the critical in your operations. What are the problems? You need to know how to determine that. If the situation doesn't run smoothly because of certain thing or specific action, you need to improve or to eliminate that. Develop methods for productivity improvements. So what are the ways on how to improve and establish reasonable goals? So a goal should be set realistically and reasonably or attainable. So we have this SMART objectives and goals, the specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. No? So we need to set goals within those boundaries, and we need to have these goals realistically and in order for this to be attainable. And once these goals are attained, of course, productivity comes in. And with the aid of productivity, you will become successful in your business. Get management support, measure and publicize improvements. So as you have your improvement, you need to be informed. You need to inform all the people behind the success and the public. No? That's also one way of strategy. Productivity and efficiency, this is very different in terms of the capacity on how to do it. So for example, efficiency, when we say efficiency, this is about a narrower concept that pertains to getting the most out of a fixed set of resources. Example, efficiency perspective on cooking a dish. So you are given a recipe to follow what is on the recipe. So you will be strict in following the recipe alone, and then you become efficient in following the recipe. Okay, and then productivity, a broader concept that pertains to effective use of overall resources. So in order to become more productive, for example, we have this in cooking a dish, you will have this possibility of creating a recipe fusion. So if you are successful in cooking a certain dish following the recipe and you want to be more productive using that dish, why not consider another fusion for this recipe so that it will add up to your productivity? So that's the difference between productivity and efficiency. For your assignment, number one, in your own opinion, how does competition helps in the success of operations management? Number two, among the kinds of strategies discussed, what do you think will be the most effective in operations management and why do you say so? Give two examples of how you can differentiate efficiency to productivity in hospitality industry. Number four, compute for the following measures of productivity or the multi-factor productivity or MF. And for the given, we have units of 8,825. We have sold of 25 pesos per unit. And then cost of labor, 2,000 pesos. Cost of materials, 750. And cost of overhead is 3,000 pesos. So for the overhead cost, it is cost incurred from marketing and other functions not directly related to the composition of a certain product. But this is also important not to consider in terms of considering the profitability of your business. So you need to show your solution here and kindly upload your assignment to the Google Classroom and use the right template. Okay, so that's it for the presentation for today. And before we end, I have this a video in which this will add up to your references and knowledge about our topic, which is competitiveness, productivity, and strategy making. So that's it for today. Stay safe and healthy, everyone.